Continues. I hope you fare well. Good. You have your mission. Once you are a tracker, you may not get a briefing like this for your missions. You'll be expected to handle them by yourself. The Trackers Alliance facilitates bounty hunting. We don't hold hands. For all intents and purposes, you are an independent entity affiliated with the Trackers Alliance. You may utilize our resources, including our database if need be, but you cannot expect someone to be with you every step of the way. That is not how we operate. Excellent. I knew you could. The target for this mission is admittedly one of our toughest. Not because of how dangerous he is, but because of how often he has evaded us in the past. His name is Hannibal Eutropio. He's wanted for 94 counts of spaceship grand theft. We have reason to believe he runs a chop shop somewhere out in the fringes, but we do not know where. Luckily, we have intel that one of his associates, Adrastos Dakota, is currently here in Aquila City. For your first mission, you were assigned a partner, Roach. He will have more information. Speak with him. Hannibal's crew steals spaceships and brings them someplace where they can illegally strip them for parts, or make the ships completely untraceable. Then he modifies them and resells them, or their parts, for a tidy profit, hence the name Chop Shop. Roach has been instructed that if he wants to continue in our service, he will comply. He will get over it. He always does. I trust that his demeanor will ease once he gets to know you. Roach is one of our best trackers. You would do well to learn from his techniques. I wish you the best of luck. Leave no quarter. Show no mercy.
Well, if it isn't the rookie. Hey, so, about earlier, when you first arrived. Okay. Just be careful and listen to me. I'm serious about beating this record. I don't want anyone blowing it for me. It's not personal. I was doing great until I volunteered to partner up with a rookie like you. They ran in, guns blazing, got shot up, and we had to evac, which let our mark get away. Couldn't save him either, so a waste all around. But now, I'm being voluntold that I need to partner up with you, for reasons I don't want to get into right now. So, let's not disappoint me. The record for consecutive successful bounty missions is held by a tracker who went by the call sign Volk. 372 consecutive bounties brought in. That's 372 with no escapes, no mistakes. Came close to beating this record, but, well, didn't. Guy was a legend around here, but don't bring him up. It's a bit of a sore spot for a lot of trackers. You ever work with someone who was really good at their job, but they just seem to rub everyone the wrong way? The boss won't do anything about it because they're afraid of losing that person. It was like that with Volk and the previous Agent No One. Except Volk was just needlessly cruel to his quarries. And everyone. Even his allies. I mean, like, torturing children to draw out their parents kind of cruel. He's a bad dude. He killed the previous No One. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And neither should you. I know you think you're hot shit, but if you don't have the skills to back it up, the only tip I'll be asking you is where are all the best spots in the afterlife? Now let's get down to business. This Adrastos guy is our ticket to finding Hannibal. We find him, bring him in, and get the information out of him. Any questions? If I had, he'd already be dead or behind bars. I know he's slipped away from all the other trackers who've gone after him, but my plan will let us finally get the drop on this slippery chasm bass. Don't worry about that. They always talk. Eventually. We'll make sure of that. Great. Adrastos was last sighted in town, so we're going to go out there and you'll use your scanner to find him. Once we do, we'll convince him to chat with us. By force, if need be. If you don't have any more questions, let's hit the road. It's good and all you want to get to know me, but I don't see how it's going to help us right now. Let's focus on the mission first. It'll tell us more about each other than any small talk ever could. And if you still want to know more, we can talk when we get back. Don't get yourself killed out there.
I'd appreciate your advice. After our last talk, I was really worried what you'd say, but I always feel better. Thank you. Cora's grandpa, good old Jacob, well, he just will not stop pestering me to see Cora. And that's complicated. Good to know I'm not alone thinking that. My early years, they weren't good. My mother died when I was 7. Some people have such strong memories from their early life. Me, I mean, I remember her. I have some pictures. I remember the feelings, but just a few clear memories. She banged up her knee real good in an accident. So she went in for knee replacement. Supposed to be routine, but that damn anesthesiologist dropped the ball. And one day Mom's fine, and the next, doctors take her away. She had these truly ancient cameras, like caveman type things. To the room with a red light, she developed pictures she took in this chemical bath. I remember sitting on a stool, looking up at them slowly fading in, and it was like alchemy to me then. That's all I have. Just glimpses like that. You better believe it. So, Jacob raised me on his own, and shit, maybe I don't give him enough credit. I mean, I know how tough it is, but he was strict, hard. Dad was a longtime civil servant, a big man in government, and he had a future all laid out for me. And man, could he get his hooks into you. He was scary good at that. At his height, he was some sort of trade minister. A very prominent man in Aquila City. And after I came along, he stepped down to a lower posting. He still had a finger in trade all over the collective. I can't deny it. He sacrificed a lot to be closer to Mom and me. Maybe. But it was tough to live up to his exacting expectations. But I tried. I felt the weight of legacy. I wanted to do him proud. He said I had to learn the business. Run some freight, see how credits flow, speak the language. Meanwhile, he's working some angle for a government job for me after. That sounded even more miserable than what I was doing. Imagining you around back then. Let's just say you would have been, distracting. But I had a point, if I could remember it. Even after I was with the Rangers, Dad was just always needling, angling for me to join the government. But by then I knew myself more, and I could stand up to him. And Lillian, well, she helped. If I let Jacob into Cora's life, he'll dream up some big future for her and tie her into knots like he did with me. The man could teach a masterclass in manipulation. I mean, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure that freight company was silently partnered with good old Dad. And the smuggling? I wouldn't put it past him to be involved. Very involved. He always did a good job of keeping that side of the business hidden from everyone. Especially me. Well, no. But he hasn't had much opportunity. And he's a sly one. Not sure I'd be able to spot anything. I suppose. Stranger things have happened. I guess I got more to think about.